And we're rolling. Okay, wait, the door is open. That's creepy. I'm gonna go close it. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sabrina and today we are going to be talking about the 5 things I wish I knew before I attended university. Now I know that everyone's university experience is different. These are just kind of the lessons that I learned and I thought it would be interesting to share in case anyone else is looking for some advice before attending university or college. So with that, let's get started. The first lesson that I thought was most essential to my university career was realizing that your plans are always subject to change. Now, before I attended university, I always kind of knew that I wanted to apply for the computer science program. Always interested in computer science in high school. I took a lot of computer programming courses, and when I was younger, considering the fact that I am an only child, and I was babysat by grandparents who did not speak a word of English, I would always be on the computer playing video games and things like that. So I was kind of surrounded by technology and became tech savvy at a really young age. When I attended the first year of university under the computer science program, it was probably the worst year of my life in terms of grades, in terms of feeling happy with what I wanted to do. We realized that I kind of was infatuated with the end result of becoming this big-time computer programmer rather than realizing that there is a process you have to take to get there, and I was not down for that process at all. It included a lot of math, which was something that I was not really fond of or not really interested in. Again, that's kind of on my part though. I feel like I should have done more research into what computer science is like in university. I think I kind of had this wrong idea of what it would be all about. I was kind of basing it on past experiences in terms of what I've learned in high school, so I kind of again had this weird kind of connotation behind it. But luckily enough, I managed to change my computer science major to criminal justice, and it was the smoothest, easiest, best decision I had ever made in my university career. The transition from computer science to criminal justice was really easy for me because in my previous year I had taken electives that were considered underneath the criminal justice program to be matched up and aligned to what the course or to the courses that they were looking for. So that was a bonus on my end. So I kind of already had that experience of what it would be like in university under my belt. I also had an interest for law and politics in my last semester of grade 12 in high school, but the thing was that when I applied for university, I applied in my first year of high school under the computer science program, and when I found out my interest for law and politics and things like that, it wasn't until I applied that I realized I couldn't change it. So I went through the first year doing computer science, coming out with a whole different program. If I had to go back and change my experience with changing my majors, I don't think I would do it. Only because it really taught me the value of realizing that you should not just be in love with the end result, or you should not just be looking at the end result as to something that you want to strive for, whether it's a vet, a lawyer, a doctor, whatever. You have to realize that there's a process that goes along with it, and you have to accept every step of the way during that process. The good times, the bad times, the failures, the successes. You kind of have to realize that if this is something that I really want to do, I have to be really into the process rather than only focusing on what the end result will look like. And again, I'm only saying that I wouldn't change this experience for me because I actually didn't have to do any extra years. I didn't have to do any extra courses in order to make up for the fact that they did a year or however many years of a program that they weren't happy with. So That's my advice on that point. The second thing that I wish I knew before going to university was that if you don't need a course, don't take it. That's really something that I should have realized this past semester. So I'm in my final semester of my 4th year for criminal justice, and every semester I'm required to take 5 courses. So what did I do? I took 6, not because I needed to, but because I really liked the professor in the course, in this grad course. Yeah, this course is also a grad level course, so it's above the level of a 4th year. That's one thing. 2, it just added extra stress, added extra coursework, added extra material. Not saying that I don't like the course is amazing, it is very interesting, but my advice would be that just sit down and really evaluate if you're ready to put in that extra time and extra effort to taking a course that you don't need. If you already have a number of credits that you need, I wouldn't suggest going above and beyond in order to take something just because you like the professor, unless you're looking to bump up your GPA. I would just reevaluate that. I would reevaluate that and just, yeah. The third thing that I wish I knew before entering university was to get involved as early as you can. This is something that I had wished I had done in my 1st year instead of getting involved in my 3rd or 4th year, because I realized I could have had the opportunities that I have now at such an earlier time, which meant that I could probably have more opportunities now than I would have had, or that I do have now already. So my thing is, try and get involved with extracurricular activities as early as you can. If there isn't anything that particularly interests you, you can always start your own club or your own thing on campus. You can just make a post on your university or college Facebook page, on Twitter, on anything, saying, hey, this is a club I'm really interested in running. If anyone would like to be an executive, or if anyone would be interested in becoming a member, let me know. And that's exactly what I did for one of the clubs that me and my friends run on campus as well. And that club has allowed us to have opportunities with working with other colleges on campus, like the College of Business and Economics, the College of Engineering, running events that are amazing. We had an opportunity to go to Columbia University as well. To attend a conference where we got to learn more about the topic that we did for our club. It was just overall an amazing experience. I just wish that I realized it sooner than later. Also, that the earlier you get involved into one thing, it can lead into you getting involved in multiple things, which can be good on an application if you're looking into doing postgraduate studies. The 4th thing that I wish I knew before I attended university was that professors are your friends. It's okay to go to their office hours every week. It's okay to ask for questions, to ask for help on assignments, because it will only benefit you on the long run. Not only in terms of bumping up your grades, but in terms of if you are planning on doing extra schooling like law school, grad school, or even just for a job. Having a professor's letter of reference is a great thing to have under your belt. You can really develop relationships with professors just by going to their office hours every once a week or so. Even just by going up to class after they're done their lecture and saying, hey, I'm not really sure I understood this part of the lecture, would you mind explaining it to me? You can kind of build that relationship with the professor, and they're way more likely to be more lenient with you in terms of giving advice, in terms of helping you out if you can't hand in an assignment on time. So for my personal experience, because I had a relationship with my professor, something came up where I couldn't hand in the assignment in class. It was required for students to hand in the assignment in class in order for it to get graded, but because of a family emergency, I couldn't attend, and he said, absolutely no problem, not a big deal, I know you. So that can also be an upper hand advantage as well. Becoming friends with my professors and realizing that professors are actually there to help you is something that I wish I realized when I was in first year, because I feel like I would have had way more connections with professors than I do now. I only have maybe 2 or 3 connections with professors, and I'm in my final semester of my undergrad, so that's definitely something that you should keep in mind when you're going into college or university. And the 5th and final thing that I wish I knew before attending university is that fallouts will happen. They may happen in terms of relationships and friendships. As you progress during your university or college career, you might come to realize that you don't really have a social life as much as you did compared to when you were in high school or things like that. Again, it is how you manage your time, but I think it just comes naturally. As you kind of progress during the years from 1st year to 4th year, you're generally going to get more busy and you might not be able to see your friends as often. Something that has happened with me and some friends from my hometown. The distance between us couldn't help as well, but whenever we would make plans to kind of meet up during the weekends or holidays or things like that, everyone's schedule was different because everyone was working on different days. It just would never work out. So that's one thing to keep in mind in terms of friends that you had made before attending university. The second thing to keep in mind is that you will have fallouts in university with friends that you make as well. This has happened to me with a couple of people that I thought were my friends but weren't really my friends. And my advice to that would be try making friends that are already in your classes or are already in your major. This is because you're kind of more likely to have the same interests as someone who's in geography or biology or criminal justice or things like that. That's kind of a good starting point to make friends. That way. I do have friends that are in other majors and they're kick-ass, they're awesome. I think they're friends for life as well. But I think again it's also kind of valuable to make friends in your classes, since you are more likely to have the same interests as them, and it can potentially mean that your relationship will last longer. So there you have it. Those are my 5 things that I wish I knew before I attended university. Leave a comment down below if you have any lessons or things that you learned during your years of college, university, high school, elementary school, whatever. I'm interested to see on what you guys have to say. Next week I will be posting a vlog where I actually am going to be showing you guys a day in my life as a university student. During the busiest day of the week for me, which is on Tuesdays, where I have class from 11:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night, so that should be fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys next week. Bye.